Welcome to the Film Whisperers here on Ben TV, where two film nerds talk all things movies with a contemporary lens. My name is Saj.
And my name is Matt.
So, Matt, we've been having an interesting discussion on sequels. We spoke about what we thought was really good, what we thought should never have been made, and now it's up to the segment which is the WTF moment. So, how would you describe the WTF moment?
I guess, when a lot of people talk about sequels, often they talk about them negatively because it's really easy to point to really bad sequels. And we've already done that. And we've also talked about ones that we actually thought were surprisingly good or that we really enjoyed. WTF, in my mind, in regards to sequels, means ones that were just really random. Like maybe they took the film in a really different direction. Maybe they were just completely different and just really surprising in a good or a bad way. But tell me if I'm on the right track, but I feel like it's just talking about sequels that were just very unexpected.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. So, okay, I'd like you to tell me, Matt, so what would be your WTF movie?
I will say, and I know, sorry, Saj, you're not a massive horror person, but I mean, there are countless WTF horror movie sequels. Like, obviously, there are so many big horror franchises that have like 4, 5, and 6 films in them. And there's always that inevitable WTF installment where it's just set somewhere really differently, or they decide to get rid of the actual original iconic villain and put in someone else to just test it out, and it just makes it really weird. So there are lots I could have chosen from, but the one I've chosen from today is the third Evil Dead film. So just for a bit of quick context, the first two Evil Dead films are kind of quite low budget, and they're basically about a group of college students that go to a cabin in the woods, really cliche, and then these kind of like these deadites or these kind of undead people terrorize them, like they try to kill them, right? And it's fun, it's cheesy, like it's got a cult following. Like the first one's amazing, the second one's really good too. But the third one, which is called Evil Dead Army of Darkness, goes in a completely different direction. And the main character who's in both of the preceding two movies, he randomly gets transported to like medieval times. So like while the first two movies are like one setting, cabin in the woods, scary setting, whatever, the third one randomly decides to take him to a medieval time where these deadites or these zombies also exist apparently. And then he has to kind of like save this medieval town from being, destroyed or killed. I actually really like it because it's so silly. Like they basically thought rather than just go half in, let's just throw everything at the film and just go for it, which I actually respect. But it's just like a really, really fun movie. Like,
Why do you watch these movies, Matt? Why do you watch these movies? Oh my God, what?
It's so fun. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's just,
Oh my God.
I think like in the Friday the 13th movie, one of the installments is in Manhattan or something instead of like out in the woods, or, in A Nightmare on Elm Street, there's a setting where they're in like a, psychological institution. Like they kind of always have like an installment that just is set somewhere else, and sometimes they really don't work. But with the Evil Dead one, it's just really, really fun. Like the script is so cheesy, but it's actually quite funny. The effects of like the gory effects are way over the top, and the fact that it's just randomly set in like a medieval setting, I think just makes it like a really fun ride. Like it's a really fun watch. So it's definitely a WTF sequel, but it's one that I think that is actually quite good. So yeah, that would be my pick. How about yourself?
Oh man, mine's nowhere near creative as that. Mine's actually Grease too.
Are there only 2 Grease movies?
Yes.
I haven't seen the second one. Obviously, I've seen the first one, which is I've seen it many times. But yeah, I've actually never seen the second one.
It's a WTF movie for me because, firstly, I did not know the sequel even existed. This was before my time, so I remember as a teenager liking Grease, and someone telling me, "Oh, did you know that there was a sequel?" And I thought, oh, okay, that's strange, because again, like what we've said before, it's the story was told. There was a good ending, and that's it. And someone told me that
into the sky at the end of the first one, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly right. So I thought, it's done. And someone told me, oh, there's a sequel in it, and it's got Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh, it's interesting that she's become quite a recurring theme today. But anyway, this was, I believe, her first film, and I decided to watch it, and I thought it was really great. It did flop at the box office, but it has definitely gained some sort of cult status. The music is actually it's the music's really good, to be honest. It is set in the 60s, and what I like about this one is it's almost a complete opposite of how the first story was told. So in the first story, it's boy meets girl, whatever, and the girl had to do everything to change for the boy. Whereas in this one, the girls have more power, and the boy tries to become, I guess, more like the other boys to impress her. It's almost like it's a feminist film because in this sequel, the pink lady, so to speak, and the main pink lady, they were in charge, and the T-Birds, who were the I guess the male gang, they were written as losers actually. So I don't know. It was interesting. It was different. There were some cast members from the original that returned, which was I guess a good sign. Some of the funny characters from the first one, like the principal and her assistant, come back, and they have some really funny lines in this. And I think overall, it was just a surprise. Why would they need to keep going with the story? But then it just worked. So that would be my WTF, a surprise sequel. Yeah, agreed.
And I know you said that it tanked at the box office, but has it developed like some sort of like a cult following? Like, are there people like yourself, obviously, who actually quite liked it? Like, Sincere is kind of this, what's the word? Like a gem, not a hidden gem. People know about it, but just underrated gem.
There's a lot of people who I've spoken to who, here's the thing, man. I think people don't know that there is a sequel. I think that's the thing, because everyone who I've spoken to who has watched it has actually enjoyed it. So I feel as if this is one of those films where if you don't know it exists, you probably obviously have never watched it and you've never given it a chance. But for those that do know that it does exist, they've actually enjoyed it.
Oh, that's interesting. I have to add that to my list as well. So the Batman film that you mentioned, but all earlier, but also this one as well. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me about sequels today, Saj, as always. And thank you everyone at home for tuning into the Film Whisperers. This is You're watching Vent TV.